Everybody wants to be an astronaut. Take the long, tall trail to the sun.
Howdy everyone, and welcome back to more for the Golden Path International Tournament, being sponsored by Unfussable Narrative. I am your host and commentator, BlackShadow, and we welcome you to our third of 4 semi-finals for the competition. Just 4 games left for the tournament. First of all, just a very quick thanks to your patience for those that are watching this tournament as it goes live. We have had, unfortunately, a bit of a scheduling delay in getting the rest of these semi-finals finished, which is a little unfortuitous, but we're getting through these as quickly as possible. Semi-final C will be on its way fairly shortly, with any luck. But as mentioned, this is semi-final D, and this is going to be a wild game featuring Imperium Cup champion Dreizo, Ipamster, who somehow is still undefeated in this competition. Absolutely insane, 6 out of 6. Arlani, who has been on an incredible run throughout these knockout rounds, and Toll as well, who has managed to make a great distance to this competition, going through as fast as losers. But fair credit to them to manage to do it and keep the consistency there. So this is going to be a wild game. I think a pretty logical place to start is going to be with Dreizo, who came second in Group A and, as mentioned, is the winner of the Imperium Cup back in the end of last year. Dreizo did not win Group A despite being the winner of the previous competition, thus getting seeded into it. This was, of course, won by Patience is a Virtue, who kind of tragically went out in the round of 14 knockout. But Dreizo still had a pretty good event, all things being considered. Managing to do enough to secure second spots. Patience had a great run in the group stages, and really showed a lot of his class in that, and it was such a very sad to see him go out in the round of 14. It was kind of undeserved. Just through the knockouts has been fairly solid, maybe not the most spectacular. A win in match G, playing as Helena. Getting 30 victory points is pretty good going. Also being joined along that with Sneaker Dead, who got second spot in Semi B and have made their way to the runner-up playoffs. And then in the quarterfinals, only managing second place in quarterfinal D to Sentient Lamppost, who went out in the same semi-final. A rather unorthodox picks of a laser as well for Dreizo, which was pretty brave to be fair, but managing to just squeeze through the next round over Bafco by a handful of spice. It goes without saying that if Dreizo manages to win this competition and win this and the Imperium Cup back-to-back, that would be a completely insane feat, and I think would happily entitle Dreizo to be called one of the greatest Imperium Razovix players there will ever be. It would be a simply insane feat to do the double, given the absolute stiffness of this competition. And to even made it this far shows a lot of class here. Dreizo will definitely be fancying themselves to try and get one step closer to doing what seems almost impossible, but this is going to be a really tough game. Not least because of Ipamster, also known as Eric 5518, who is unbeaten in this tournament. 6 out of 6 wins. A completely absurd statistic. And it means this is going to be an absolutely incredible clash. Absolutely dominating Group H along with Loom Straw, picking up the victory in their one clash at the back end of the group, meaning Ipamster would secure top spot and get best seeding through the groups. If there was any thought that maybe he just got a load of wins because he wasn't in a particularly difficult group, I think has been since pushed away. Winning the round of 14 match, it was a pretty close affair to be fair, against Roma in match K, and then in the quarterfinals, following up with his 6th victory in a row, playing as Tesia in quarterfinal I against strong acting Henguber and You Got Franked. It's a fascinating divergence in a way from how Dreizo actually came about winning the Imperium Cup in the previous competition. Dreizo actually lost his first 2 games and came forth, won the second 2 games, had to come through the wildcards and squeezed his way and bit and fight and clawed his way to the final, ended up winning it. Whereas if Ipamster could win this competition, that would be 8 straight victories in a row in Rise of X. Given the level of competition, it seems almost unfathomable as well. But the thing is that one of these two aren't going to get what they want here. One of these 2 dreams are going to die. Either Dreizo to make the double, or Ipamster to go one step closer to a absolute clean sweep of this competition, which would be an incredible thing. And the thing is that they've used all sorts of leaders. We've mentioned Tezzy and Hanjo in the groups. They played as the Bees, Princess Yuna as well. There was 3 games won as Yuna actually in the group stages. So maybe if Yuna does come up here and is an option, they might well delve into them, thinking they've got a bit of previous with them. But I think they're going to be fearsome regardless whoever they pick. Also, one more incredible stat. In the 6 games that Ipamster has played, he has scored 70 victory points. That is nearly averaging 12 points a game. That is completely crazy. Next up is Arlani, who made 2nd place in Group F. Arlani's group stage was not the most remarkable, I don't think, out of some of the stories that came out of it, although he played pretty solid in a very close group, managing to just about squeak the automatic qualification due to getting 2 victories, even though his average points rating was worse than Twist Pickle. That was the first tiebreaker for how the groups came, so managing to just barely squeak his way through victories with Viscount Hundro as well as Beast Raban. I think Arlani's most notable fact of this tournament has been his knockout stages, though. Both the round of 14 as well as the quarterfinal games, picking Baron and utterly laying waste to the competition, winning both games in 6 rounds, which is completely absurd and almost slightly ridiculous. But nonetheless, manage it against some pretty good players. You know, Loomis Draw, Green Flame, and even, like, in the quarterfinals, you know, LSR, like, very competent player. Twist Pickle played very strongly in the group. So, managing to get these sweeps against some pretty decent opposition. I don't think he's going to get the same courtesy in this game, however. I cannot imagine that with the quality of players in this semi-final match that he's going to be able to win this game in 6 rounds. So I think this is going to be a real test for Arlani. I think it's also going to be a very difficult game for him. I think he probably thinks he's an outside chance to go with this. I think he's the underdog, and thinks probably has nothing to lose here, to be fair, as well. If he was to make it through to either of the finals, I think he'd be absolutely ecstatic to have the chance for it. I think even at this point, I would be honest, I think Arlani would feel he's had a very good tournament to get this far as well. But maybe he can find one step more. Maybe Ipamster and Dreizo just absolutely go to war with each other, and he manages to sneak through. I mean, who knows in this game? Hard to know, but be fascinating to see who Arlani picks. It'll be interesting to see how the game proceeds. If he gets Baron again, does he try for a 3rd 6-turn victory? It would be incredible. And last up, we have Toll, who came 3rd in Group P and is one of the only players left standing in the competition that came through the wildcards. But a couple of notable exceptions that have done, specifically Tomas, who won semi-final B, also came through the wildcards, and he is now in the finals. Raw and Sutek in semi-final C, also wildcard survivors. So a few of them dotted around here, but this is going to be definitely a very stiff test for Toll. While Toll has not had a lot of particularly heavily decisive victories over the course of the competition, Toll has been pretty consistent, and that has managed to get him to squeak through the group stages and squeak through the various rounds as well. As I've mentioned in previous videos, Toll was the highest scoring player in the wildcard rounds by a distance, scoring 15 victory points as Ilban, like an absolutely astonishing score. But outside of that, it has been steady, consistent play from Toll, fairly consistent scoring, which managed to get him through the various rounds. What came through as the fastest loser in the round of 14 brackets, though, was the highest scoring fastest loser in the crazy match A of that round. If you've not seen that game, you really should. And then in the quarterfinals, same again, playing through as Tezia, only narrowly missing out automatic qualification to the Beast by a single spice. And this time ended up being the lowest qualifier of the fastest losers to make it through to the semi-finals. So it's been an all-over-the-place competition for Toll, who I think will be very happy to have made it this far and get this through. Unfortunately now, there is no more trying to get through now. Now it's all about straight winning here, realistically. There is obviously a 2nd place to the run-up playoffs, but it's all about getting to the grand final, and it's all about trying to force a victory here. So, the big question: who wins this match? On paper, it definitely feels like it's a shot between Ipamster and Dreizo. Let's not discount Arlani and Toll, who've done very well to get this far, but you'd think of Ipamster and Dreizo are favourites here to take the top 2 spots, and that's just the way it breaks down. It's fascinating, isn't it? You've got the mix of Ipamster, 6-6, absolutely ruthless, has demolished the competition, trying to make a perfect clean sweep. But then you've got almost the romantic angle, haven't you, of Dreizo managing to somehow do the double and win both competitions back-to-back, which would be an incredible feat. Ultimately, only one of those stories could possibly go through. And I imagine it will be one of these two players to win it. But, I mean, how do you call this? I really don't know. I think what's going to be fascinating to see is where they sit. If they sit opposite each other, it's going to be fascinating. But if they sit next to each other, I suspect the person onto their right might end up trying to block them a little bit and kind of get in their way and harass them a bit much. A bit kind of similar to what we saw with Unfussable and Zazabu in their last group stage game, way back in the competition. We saw something like that where they basically just took it on each other. It's a different format, of course. Yeah, they need to win the game, but if I had to go for a winner, I have to go with Ipamster. I'm sorry. I know Dreizo is the romantic option here, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. I hope he proves me wrong. I almost want him to prove me wrong here, but I think it's Ipamster to go through to the final. All right, everyone. So we are getting ourselves ready for the match. And let's see how it goes. Okay, then. So, we do see Dreizo and Ipamster sat next to each other. Dreizo to the right of the pair, which is notable. Arlani's got first position, which means that it is going to be Toll making first pick on this one. So, let's see what we got then. Okay, so it's, It's not the most exciting row I've ever seen in the world. It's okay, though. Obviously some pretty decent cards here. Guild Ambassador looks very, very scary, of course. You've got the power play, obviously very strong, very good looking. Voice early is obviously always really, really good. Just over Arrakis, not the best of cards, nor is Missionaria, but they actually both synergize really well with the voice specifically. So, you know, there's a play to be had there. As far as techs are concerned, we've got detonation devices, which I don't know if we're going to see a lot of that. I mean, there's a lot of heat you're going to get if you start picking that, especially pretty early. Spaceport might sit there for a while. Mimic is going to get picked very, very early, however. And leaders-wise, no Beast. Baron and Tesia there, however. Helena's there, but no Ekaz. No Ilban, and no Leto, however. No Yuna either. So, kind of a fair smattering of leaders. You'd expect both Baron and Tesia to go at some point here. Helena's probably going to be a choice as well. The fourth, though, you know, maybe Hundro or something. I can see that happening. And so it will be yellow to choose first here. And Toll will be up first. As I mentioned at the start here, I do think this is not going to be an easy game for Toll here. I think a lot of this table might well come down to what happens between Ipamster and Dreizo here. Like, if the two really do end up going to war, you can have some really strange dynamics to the table. If they were going to be across from each other, I think they wouldn't get into the way too much. But Dreizo might well feel that his biggest competition is Ipamster, and he might want to look to get in the way. So Toll going for Tesia in 4th spot here. You do see some time to time. I don't think Tesia is actually that bad in 4th spot. Obviously a bit of concern that Baron is going to be there, however. So I don't hate it. Tesia in 4th can be a bit risky, though. You think Baron might well get picked in 3rd anyways. You think Ipamster would go for it, and does indeed. So it'll be Dreizo in 2nd spot, who I assume will go Helena. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Plays tons of Helena, and then Tom and Arlani even will be up first. So Arlani doesn't get Baron this time. Arlani is going to have to figure out what he wants to do here. He has a choice to make as to how he wants to go about this. I think this could be a tough game for him as well here. He's going to have to, I think, improvise a little bit here. I mean, it's a little tricky to know who to pick here. I think if I was being honest, I'd probably go with Hundro. Hundro, to me, feels the best pick of the lot. You could, in theory, go Memnon. If you get Signet Ring, you can get hold of Mimic immediately if you wanted to. Later also isn't the worst, looking to put a dagger to the side and looking to hit Tech Negotiation. But someone might stop you from doing that. And we do indeed see Hundro. So, okay, here we go. Let's have a look what we got here then. So, Hundro's two intrigues are Rapid Mobilization and Diversion. Rapid Mobilization, I would argue, is probably the better one of the two here. Baron is going to go with the usual 2 picks here of the Spacing Guild and Fremen. Arlani will have to make a choice between the 2 leaders here. I will say, I have no idea how Arlani plays Hunjo. I haven't a clue at all. And if he does manage to get through this game in either of the top 2 spots, I think he can feel pretty happy with this. But, you know, you'd fancy, again, Dreizo and Eric here, but we shall see. It's a big, big clash. Looking ahead here, see what we got here. So, Helena's pulled a Signet Ring and 1 Diplomacy card. One thing that has become kind of popular in a lot of sort of the meta's a bit of a shift at the moment is people going smuggle for Swordmaster. People realizing that double sword round 2 Swordmaster is pretty good. It always has been, and this might help here. Wow, what a opening conflict here! My goodness me, it is the Solari Influence Skirmish. To me, probably quite possibly the best opening skirmish in the game. It's up there. Very strong. So, Helena's going to have a bit of an issue here, because Baron's going to want to fire away. So, Helena, I think, is going to go Fold Space or Hardy Warriors here, whichever one Hunjo doesn't go for, you can imagine. So, the serious one Hunjo goes for, Hunjo's going to Baron in Hardy Warriors. He's just going to go in immediately. Wow, okay, rock and roll. No fear. Hunjo just goes in immediately. So, Helena will get access to shipping right away. In the second round. Baron will smuggle a Signet Ring to get a card, picking up the Diversion. I don't like that so much, because the fact Hunjo knows what it is, and now he picks up Diversion. I don't like that so much from Baron, but I guess if he's got Signet Ring, he might as well get on with it, I suppose. So Tezia's up. I think we'll see probably Steel Suits, maybe well for Tezia. I think Steel Suits looks pretty good here. Put a troop in. It's not a great hand here for Tezia, to be fair here. It's a bit awkward. Going to put them both in immediately. So I think they're hoping to find a way to not use the Doom card, I guess. Maybe they're looking at Tech Negotiation. Get up to 4 Persuasion, perhaps? I don't know. Could they be eyeing up Guild Administrator? Maybe. Hunjo's going to get his Spice at Imperial Base, and he'll need to do this for his Signet Ring later on. Does not need to put in another dude. But he might do it just to be safe, and I don't hate that, and decides to do so. Helena does have Signet Ring. Helena can peel off any one of these cards they want. Probably go Power Play. I'd probably draw to suit fine first. Find their dagger. They might also take Guild Admin away and just look to just basically turtle up. I think Guild Admin looks pretty good here, seeing as you're going to get access to shipping. Okay. Maybe they figure they're going to be able to buy Guild Admin and is. I don't know, not entirely sure. Esmond Tuet turns up here. I'm really tempted to go Guild Admin as Helena. Thinking you're going to get 2 bumps and you can race that. And, like, obviously you know Baron is going to have a second bump here, but your 2 is right here. I think Guild Admin probably is my pick there. I think I prefer that to Power Play. I really do. Baron goes Tech Negotiation. Doesn't use the Seek Allies. Not interested in wealth. Not interested in secrets. I don't know if I like that. I honestly think as Baron, I think I'm going wealth there. And I'm actually looking to go smuggling next round. With my other Doom card, cash it in, and use my dagger to get Swordmaster immediately. I really am. I'm a little surprised there from my Ipamster. Maybe he... Oh, no, I think what he figures is he's got Diversion. But I still think I go wealth there. Like, Tech Negotiation's a bit of a weird one. He's obviously eyeing up Guild Admin then. If Helena's put Power Play aside, then Baron's going to go Guild Admin and hope it all works out here, I think is what's going on. But, no, I think for me I go Wealth, because I can just, yeah, I can go Smuggle. I can smuggle Swordmaster round 2, and no one can really stop that. Because Helena's is just going to go You'd imagine he's just going to go diplomacy and instead of shipping. Now, it should be noted, Helena does have all her mining cards in her hand right now, so she's going to have to rely on a coin flip to pick up mining access next round. She's not guaranteed to find it. Tezia's up. Tezia's eyeing up the early reveal here if she wants to get her first dibs on, like, the voice, for example. It's the only card to be worth doing it for. The only thing she can do is, like, hang a base in or Great Flat early. Hang a base in early I don't entirely hate. Great Flat is a bit spurious, probably. You got both your daggers. You can't win the conflict, though. I think revealing for voice here, I think it's totally fine. I don't hate this. This is a super good cut. Oh my goodness me. Peeling off the other voice. Wow. That's insane. Arlani, I imagine, will take that. I think he'll take that and, yeah, he does go for the Missionaria voice here, which I think is pretty solid. If that peers off a couple of times, it's pretty good. But it's at your control. Skill Compact, Imperial Bashar turn up here. So Helena will take Power Play. Baron's going to take Guild Admin. And I don't think giving Guild Admin like that away, I think it's a bit risky from Dreizo. I can't say I'm a fan of that. Hundro will win the conflict here, taking the coins and his bump. He will take the spacing, but he's wow, he's got to fight shipping here. He's got to get in front of Helena. He's not going to. Oh my goodness me. Well, it's a brave call. Shipping's the standard move, but he decides he's not going to play ball here. And Hundro is going to bump the Fremen. Okay. Does Helena find it? She does find it, so she gets lucky. That was a coin flip. So Baron, I think, is going to hardly worry here. Cloak and Dagger is the combat here. It's pretty good for him, actually. He will be able to win this combat and get shipping next round. Diversion we played. He might smuggle anyways. Yeah, I think Hundro's he's taking a risk here going for the Fremen side here with the taking the bump there. I'm not gonna lie. Taking a risk. Tezia's up. Tezia would very much like to try and get access to shipping quickly here. Signet Ring will help shift one of those away. I actually don't entirely hate Tezia going Steel Suits and Signet Ring. Just getting that first Snooper token, and that way when you cash in the second token with the shipping, or however when you get access instead of shipping, you're getting free Solari at the same time. I think Tezia, like, managing to get second Snooper token at the Spacing Guild to get the free Solari when you're like in fourth position, I think it's very underrated. I think it's actually a pretty good little deal there. Combine it with like a wealth or something, and that's your Swordmaster without having gone anywhere near shipping. Imagine that's what we'll see from Tezia. It's hard to see her not decide to shift to that direction, but she's got to work out how is she going to get hold of her second thing. What does she want to do as well? Does she want to go hang a basin to, like, maybe get Minimic at the same time? But you kind of got your Seek Allies in hand. You don't have to use it here as Tezia. You don't have to use it. Baron Harkonnen's going to look to win this combat here and get his second bump anyway. So as Tezia Vernius, like, you just want to find... If you keep your Seek Allies, you could have either that or your Diplomacy card next round and give yourself a better chance of hitting Fold Space, which is what you really need to find. Or even your Signet Ring. Although you would need to figure out where your extra bumps coming from that, but... So I don't hate using Seek Allies. I also don't hate using Seek Allies here. You could also just go Great Flat Conspire. In fact, actually, I like that move, actually, from Tezia here. I think Great Flat Conspire actually looks pretty good. And that's exactly what we see here. Gets you to the 8th Solari here to get the Swordmaster rocking and rolling. That is what we do see here. I like it, I like it. Hundro up. Hundro's got his ring. He's got his... Now, Hundro could well smuggle here and cash in the spice and look to cash in shipping for the Swordmaster round 2, which I don't hate, and I think we might see here. I like bumping down here and cashing in the ship and cashing the Solari, but decides not to. I would not have hated just grabbing your Swordmaster now because Tessie is about to go conspiring and just get in your way. I think just cashing in that and just getting hold of the Swordmaster now, I don't think it's a bad thing. Yeah, it's cool. Just press down. Just press that. Which is what you do. He's misclicked there. Oh, I haven't put up a scoreboard yet for you guys. Sorry, apologies for that. So yeah, Hunjo is going to Swordmaster now then. Again, this is a good move. Tessia is owing to conspiring. So Helena is going to have to wait a little bit here. Helena is also getting her Swordmaster ready. Baron's going to pick up Minimic here. Baron's just going to chill out here and hope that he's good. No one's done anything yet. So Tessia Conspire is still sitting there. It's what you set up for. I don't really see what else you've got at this point now. You've kind of commit yourself down this path. But it sucks though because Dreizo's also set up for Swordmaster, so you might have a bit of an issue next round. You might have to choose, but I think this is fine. Like, this can't be a bad move for Tessia. Counselor's Dispensation is found as the intrigue here. It's not Tessia's best, but the 2 spice can be pretty useful. So Hunjo is Swordmaster now. Helena will reveal free persuasion. Don't know if she's going to pick up the Imperial Spy. Maybe X Guild. Maybe just a liaison. I think Imperial Spy is fine. Yep, it does go for it. Duncan turns up. Beast reveal was for 6. Takes Esmar 2ek here. And now this is scary. This with Guild Administrator, that is a very scary prospect. Tessia Vernius with 4. Taking Tessia Humanity there. That's not comfortable. That's going to be a problem here. And Hunjo has a free punt to Carthag to at least take 2nd place. And if he finds a battle intrigue, he can just win this conflict and cause some real issues. Although, the thing is, if it was the case with this conflict, like, he really... I'm not gonna lie, Arlani, I think, should have just bumped spacing. Because if he goes to Carthag and finds a combat intrigue and wins this, like, he could get in front of Dreizo and cut them off from shipping entirely. That would have been huge. So I hope for his sake he doesn't find Tactician or Ambush. Otherwise, it's not going to look good. Although saying that, they've not though getting troops in the garrison, so what am I talking about? So they're not winning this conflict. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, they've got a garrison to throw dudes into. Just throw them in. A little higher is the intrigue here. It's not bad. You gotta be careful. I think you can something get a bit stuck in your hand. You gotta don't keep that waiting around. But it's not too bad. Not a bit awkward for Hunter. Obviously, he wants to keep the spice on the side, so yeah. And I think it's fine, you know. Keep the sea colors on the side. I think it's pretty good here. So Hunter's going to get himself a nice, cheap 2nd place. 2 persuasion. Taking a liaison is not bad. I wouldn't get anything else. Well, you can't get anything else. I think 1 liaison's fine. But not going to bother about it. So Baron will get the shipping access. So Dreizo's going to have to fight for it. Oh, no way. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. That's disgusting. I tell you what, I think Dreizo is going to regret this decision. I really think that Dreizo's going to have an absolute headache here. There's going to be a war for this alliance. Absolute war for this alliance here. My god. Tessia does not find faction access. She finds the signet ring, so it's good enough. So, does Baron go up and down for a tech? I think up and down for Memoracors is fine, but decides to go down and up instead. I mean, I would have liked to have taken Whole Objectives. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a really good card. Choem Shez is the Baron. Oh no. This is looking kind of scary. Allied Armada in hand as well here. This looks really, really scary. And Guild Authorization, so already has the alliance here. And that is a concern for the players. If he locks that up, the table has an absolute real problem here. Real problem. Tessie is going to have to Swordmaster now. Obviously, Signet Ring can shift across whenever she wants, so get the Swordmaster now. Dreizo will pick up this later on as well. Baron will pick up Swordmaster next round. Hundro up. Hundro, by the way, picked up Glimpse the Path here was their intrigue for the second place. Pretty good, but they have some spice requirements here, and they need to find it. They found Missionaria, but knowing the voice. So, you kind of really want to find the voice here. I wouldn't even hate going Mentat. I think trying to find the voice, I think is maybe worth having a bit of a punt around. You could go Glimpsing the Path for it. Spice build up in Hager Basin. You could go Still Suits to hit Hager Basin with your Signet Ring. Like, Helena... Is Helena going Hager Basin? Maybe. I think if you go Still Suits, they might. But we'll see. There's options here for Hundro. He might Glimpse the Path now and just try to find voice. And that is exactly what he does here. So he's going to go look for it. Gives him the water to pick up the Hager Basin as well, which I think is going to be pretty useful. Doesn't find voice. But it's fine. He can take Hager Basin away from Helena here. So that's going to be a bit of a crimp on Dreizo's day. They will drop Spice to bump up. So Helena will not be able to take Hager Basin. That will be annoying. Hundro considering using Calculated Hire now. And you know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate taking Calculated Hire. I think you could do worse, but I don't think you have to do it right now. Only person that I think is likely to grab it is maybe Baron. So, Helena just taking Swordmaster immediately. So, kind of waiting to see what happens here. Baron will take the Spice Imperial Basin. Allied Armada, by the way, is already active in round 3. The combat is Guild Bank Raid. And I tell you what, this money is, you know... Everyone's getting the Swordmaster pretty quick here, but High Council is going to be of interest here for Spices Flowing here. I honestly think the Baron has a way of winning this game in 6 rounds. Like, it's legitimately on here to win this in 6. With Choem shares in hand, with Guild Administrator as well. I honestly think the Baron might well try and win this in six rounds. Like, if there's a setup to do this. And I don't know if the table's going to be able to do much about it if it comes off. Tessie will just smuggle. Prepping up for the interstellar shipping cash-in next round. Tessie needs to start getting work on these snoopers here. They're taking a little while, is told. Just falling behind a touch. Tessie's obviously good at catching up. So Mentat 400 here. He finds voice! Huge find! Oh, it's a bit awkward though now. It's a little bit late though. Because your diplomacy is already out. So Helena's just going to go Carfag. Picks up Poison Snooper. Putting aside the Spice Trader. Which is not active for them currently. Muffin behind him turns up here, by the way. It's pretty good. Baron's going to reveal for 4. Seek Eyes has still not been played by him, by the way. Worth noting. I think of Duncan. I don't think I like Duncan for Baron here. I mean, it's basically looking to go Siege and try and throw a load of dudes in. Nothing too much else to happen there, though. Bit interesting if it turns up. It's like, it's okay. I would have been tempted to literally go XDO Combat and just absolutely just cement and make sure, like, you've got to make sure that you hold on to this alliance. And Helena has power play. And Helena has significant interest in stopping you from having this alliance. But Helena might decide it's not worth it. The problem is, though, if Helena decides it's not worth stopping Baron, Baron might just win the game. So Helena might have to do something about it. No one else is in any position to stop the Baron here. If anyone's going to stop this guild admin stuff, it has to be Dreizo. The only person that can do it. And if they don't power play, like, the Spacing Guild, I think Eric might just waltz this. Real chance. Tessie's up, by the way. So she has to use Signet Ring to shift instead of shipping. We know that. She'll discard a card for the extra spice. So where does she go is the question. The only place she can go is Arakeen or Tech Negotiation. Or you could get a Dreadnought, I guess. But you definitely have to shift here. I think Arakeen's fine. There's a couple of cards you don't want to see, but it is what it is. You just gotta do it. You went smuggling first, so you kind of put yourself in this spot. If you draw a card you don't want to see, then so be it. Fine's Voice. That's one of the cards they didn't particularly want to see. They will have 5 Persuasion to buy, though, which isn't bad. But it's not a card they wanted to see here. They will shift across. Oh, yeah, and they'll drop Recon for the Spice. With the first Snooper. So 4 to buy instead. The 4's fine. They don't have to drop it, by the way. They don't have to put a card away for the Spice, but typically you would see that. But I do fear Toll is going a little slow on the board here. I.e., like, I think Eric is going to try and win this in 6. I really think he's going to have a crack at this. And that's a problem for Tezia. Tezia needs a little bit of time here. So, discards for the Spice. Hundro has 2 actions. So, Hundro has Voice and also has the Gesture Initiate. The problem that he has, though, is he can't play both. He has access to the Siege, but where's he going to put Missionaria? So, unfortunately for Hundro, he can't actually get Missionaria off here because all the cities and mining slots have all been blocked off here. So, he'll have to do it the old-fashioned way with his Diplomacy. He will be hitting Siege. So the only question is, where's he go with the Diplomacy here? And I don't quite know where. I don't hate Secrets. I don't hate Selective Breeding. You've got 1, 2... You've got 6 Persuasion. You could go for an early Spice Must Flow here. I know it's only round 3. There are also worlds where, like, well, Helena's is saying she wants to get on a Spice Trader, although she has no persuasion with the Fremen, so she's just after the I don't think she's actually going to get Spice Trader. I think she's just ripping that out the row. We'll probably take, like, the Ben and Jesuit sister. And they do go for it. All right. Okay, so they are going to have a punt here and see if they can't pick their way up to 9. Well, that dagger's a bad find. That's 8 Persuasion, but Tech Negotiation gets them to 9 if they just want to win it here. Wow, and it is power play to Fremen here. So Helena is happy to just let the Baron pick up Spice on the side here with Guild Administrator. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The Baron cannot believe that is happening. I know it sucks to power play forward space to use Helena, but I think you have to stop the Baron. You've just got to get in the way here. So Baron is going to feel his boots here. This is very scary stuff. Bench Assist is taken by... let me zoom out here, touch for you guys. Bench Assist is taken by Tezia Vernius, revealing Firm Grip here. So I've just got a choice. Hundro can go for Tech Negotiation and just get the Spice Must Flow. He goes Siege and just garrison a dude. He would be able to put it in and he could get the a couple of Solari, but it doesn't really feel worth it. Firm Grip also looks good, but you might not get there. Helena might take it ahead of you. It would suck to, like, not go for it. I honestly, I don't hate just taking the point. Tech Negotiation, Spices Flow, and just take a point. Yeah, I don't hate this. I think this is fine. It's a bit an early Spice Must Flow buy, but I think this is okay. Does go for Spice Trader. I guess that's confirmed now with like the power play, but yeah. Dreizo's just gonna let Baron run here. We'll see what I will see if the table pays for this. So, oh, 100 just goes for Mohayim. Oh, for combination with Voice and Missionaria. Interesting. Well, then, I don't know if I like tech negotiation so much then, but, and Jessica, so they're going all in on the Bene Gesserit bond here. Wow. That's pretty savage. That is really awesome. Yeah, going all in. Sister would have been nice, but it's fine. So, it is 4 Solari for the Baron, 4 for Helena, couple of coins for Tezia here. Eric's favorite right now, isn't he? Like, he is just favorite. Scary stuff. Okay, so there it is. Next up is Sort Through the Chaos. Always love it. It just puts all of them down immediately. It's just like... I had it once in a game where people were doing it. I literally just put all of my deck down one at a time, face down. It's just... Oh, dear. I don't really use it as a help thing, but it's just... It is what it is. Anyways, Teddy's up first, so she wants to cash in her shipping now, which she's going to do. Is the table really not going to do anything better? Like, the problem is now is, like, if Baron, like, starts surging ahead, it's going to be too late to stop him, right? I mean, Esmond 2-Egg and Guild Administrator are basically... Well, there's a... Yeah, it's basically a Spice Must Flow on the house. Well, point on the house, even. So, Teddy's going to bump Bene Gesserit. Looking to go probably with Testy Humanity and do some business there. Andrew's up. So, Voice in hand, but nothing else. Kind of sucks. Again, this might be a place where you go for Calculated Hire. I really do think this might be a spot for using Calculated Hire here. As for how you're going to proceed on this round, though, it's a question. I mean, like, Helena going for... I don't necessarily know if Helena is actually going to go for this alliance. I mean, she'll do if she thinks she can. But it's obviously uncomfortable the power play went to the throne, which is the one that you're targeting here. So that kind of sucks. I think Voice opening up is fine. Might go Arakeen. Just smuggles. I think this is okay. Get your ring ready. Oh, she's going to take the spice, so they're going up for more selective breeding. More selective breeding being prepped here. So, Hundra's going to go all in on this alliance, I think. As confirmed by blocking it off there. Okay, so Hundra's going all in on the Benny deck. Imperial Spy for Helena. Finds double cross, which is... This is right. So Baron's got a weird spot here in that he's got his dagger and he's got his Dune Desert Planet. I actually think Baron should go Mentat and look to redraw the card. Like, he doesn't have to go Swordmaster. Everyone else has got their Swordmaster here. But voices are out, which is kind of scary. So I don't hate going the Swordmaster now. But I wouldn't have hated Baron just... I wouldn't have hated Baron just pick up Mentat instead. Tezzia's got a Diplomacy and Tesla Strength. She's going to use both of these. I mean, Tezzia might well have been eyeing up Selective Breeding, but obviously not going to happen here. Hunter has no idea what he's going to draw into if he does find any of his Bene Gesserit cards. The players are going to be scared that Mother Mahim is in play and is about to come in. And the players are very terrified that's about to happen here. You know, the thing is, with this Bene Gesserit deck, the voice is a great enabler. Now, as it turns out, he's got his Seek Allies instead, which he hasn't used. But the players right now are very scared that Mother Mahim is in his hand, is about to peel off, and that they're all about to have a really bad day. But fortuitously, it's not there. So, what I would consider doing is I would actually consider going Secrets. If Mother Mahim is not there and it gets redrawn, the only place that it can go is Secrets, because Wealth is already gone. Sensor Beam would be gone, and they're not going to be able to get to Conspire. So Secrets would be the only spot if they do find it. But I think you're probably going there in either of the two anyways. So Tezzy also might have some interest in this combat here. The Mentat would be pretty good next round because they'd be in 4th spot with the Mentat right away, so they've got action economy on everyone. So if it's like a victory point conflict, like they can feel in a pretty good position for it. So Steel Suits is also good here. Steel Suits I think is pretty fine. Steel Suits looks pretty. Yeah, I mean Steel Suits look good. You've got some garrison troops. Put some dudes in. I think Steel Suits can't be bad here, right? And they agree. But I think we will see a trip to Secrets here afterwards, depending. So the players will be relieved to see that it's not going to be Mahim going there, but Seek Allies instead. So they can trash the Seek Allies as part of their thingy, but they're just going to get rid of the thing there. Missionaria is found. Oh, they find it alongside the Signet Ring, which is a bit of a pain. Calculated higher. It's got to be calculated higher here for Hundro. You've got to get this. You want to use your ring and you want to use Missionaria. I think calculated higher is the move now. And it's also going to scare the players here. Because they're going to think, oh, you've drawn pretty well. You've drawn not bad. The problem is, calculated again, it's a card where the longer it sits in your hand, the harder it gradually gets to play. Because people will start picking up Mentat more and more. I think this is the time to get it. And threaten some problems here. I mean, the problem is if you pick it up, obviously you're not necessarily going to get use out of the Signet Ring, but I think it's worth it. So that's going to concern the players here. He has no water, though, so Imperial Basin would be a pretty good-looking block. See where Helena's going to go. They do have their Doom card out, so they might be going Great Flat. Oh, it was Fold Space. My apologies. So they're going Secrets instead, so that will protect against that. Oh, they find Strong Arm. That's going to get used immediately to get the bump, the extra bump there. That was no choice there. It's a massive find for Leia. What a Brucey bonus that was. Oh no, they decide not to. Oh, they've revealed it though. I mean, well, there we go. So the players now know they've got Strong Arms, so that's so they're interested in stealing, I think, either the Fremen Alliance. I think is what they're going for here. I think that's what's going on. Baron's up. It's a bit awkward for Baron to have the Allied Armada here, along with... He has to get Guild Admin off. There's absolutely no question. I think you're just going to go... I mean, Imperial Basin looks good just as a block for Hundro, and it gets you a loose spice. And you can, you know, I think it's kind of why I wanted to go Mentat as Baron. I would have preferred to have drawn the extra card with your action. I would have much preferred to see that. Don't know if you want to put the dude in here or not. I don't think I do. I think I keep it on the side. He's looking at the money for Chom shares, but he's got Esmar. I don't think there's any need to put a dude in here. Thing is, there's times you're going to put this dude in and not get anything for it, and that sucks. Well, they do put it in. So, no secrets for Tezia, which I think she was eyeing up. Would have got hold of 2 intrigues for her troubles as well. So, Savfk it is, right? I think it's got to be Savfk here, surely. I don't really see what else you've got. You're not drawing cards. Siege is unavailable. Hager Basin, you could go. You could go Holo Projectors as well via Tech Negotiation. I don't think that's terrible. You could use the Dagger and have 5 Persuasion. Eyeing up Firm Grip. That looks really good as Tezia, by the way. Getting hold of Firm Grip. Maybe that's the play here. Dagger to Tech Negotiation. Take Holo Projectors and pick up Firm Grip. That looks pretty good to me. Maybe even Dreadnought. And they do Dreadnought. All right. Here we go. Rocking and rolling. Oh, they going Detonation then. Wow, so Tessie is, she's saying, we're going to war here. Tessie is she's going for it here. Okay, so the plot thickens. But Tessie's got a pretty healthy garrison, though. And if they win this conflict on the cheap here, they're going to have an agent behind. You know, they have the Mentat immediately here. So if the next point is a victory or any conflict, Tessie's looking pretty good for it. Tessie does need to do a little bit of catching up as well. Baron is definitely leading. Under with two actions here. I love how Elena's putting down 2 cards. So Missionary will be played to Carthag to get the bump here. I think they're going to bump Fremen. And they're going to see Helena going past here. The Ben Jessuit's the better pick here. They find Poison Snooper, by the way, the other one. So Bennett bump taken. It's actually pretty hard to actually get Ben and Gesserit bumps from Ben and Gesserit abilities with the bond. Missionary is about one of the only ones that can actually do it. You feel like in the shadows, stuff like that, it's all the factions that aren't the Bene Gesserit. And Immortality as well, like the Face Dancers, the Talaxu cards, can go to everywhere but the Bene Gesserit and stuff like that, so. Don't need to put the troop in, no need. You got your Signet Ring, you're going to another space here. You're going to go probably to Siege. Maybe Arakeen. Wait and see what happens. You know, you're not in any rush. Not in any rush at all here. So, Great Flat it is. I don't know what the card's doing down there. They're like trying to suggest, they're like, oh, I got Urgent Recall. There's a bit of game shit going on. So Baron just reveals, takes the point. I mean, this is just so strong for Baron here. Absolutely ridiculous. Someone's got to police Baron here. And Helena, I think, was the only person who could realistically police Baron, and they opted not to. Baron's sitting with another point in his hand here. Ella Madre is active if he wants it as well. So Tessia reveals for the 4. It's got to be firm grip here for Tessia Vernius. Absolutely no doubt about it. Yeah, but Dreizo's misplayed as well. Yeah, I was like, I don't know why he thought he had another action. Sorry. Looks like he was eyeing up going Tex. Now his diplomacy's just sitting in his hand here. Dreizo's made a bit of a mess of this, I fear. And Baron is odds-on favourite to win this and go 7 out of 7. There's a bit of barring going on. I mean, if this is original Dune, I'd be okay with it. Funkab is taken. For Dakin, Death Commando is the next card. It's okay. So Hundro's up. Hundro cannot go Hager Basin. He cannot mine. So his Signet Ring is just access. I'd just go Siege. If it's got your Poison Snooper, I actually don't like using Poison Snooper here and trying to find something that you can actually use with an Asian ability. You know, if you find Diplomacy, just go like False Space or something. You'll get that bump eventually, right? I'm trying to think what else Hunjo's got. And of course, like, if you do pull, like, Mahaim's no good. Oh yeah, you've got Jessica Arrakis, which is also no good because it can't actually go anywhere. So actually, it doesn't make any sense to put on any cards. So just go Siege then, pick up the water, and prep up Jessica and Mahaim next round. Could put the troops in, but I don't hate not putting them out. Poison Snooper finds the other dagger, so they'll get rid of that. And I will reveal for the 2. They have got double cross. I think they might consider double crossing here. They might hold it for a victory point combat, though. A couple of persuasion. They'll get a liaison. And Hunjo will reveal for a couple. Hunjo would have liked getting Weirding Way. Weirding Way, the deck he's running, really scary. But he can't afford it, so Helena will take the conflict then, so she'll get access to the Mentat. Says I mean, everyone kind of gets their rewards on the cheap. Baron, I do not believe he's going to use Allied Armada here. So they're just going to grab that. Helena finds an Emperor bump, which is useful. Infiltrate for Tesia Vernius. That's also pretty good. That's very strong for her, actually. We're going to move on here. So, it is victory point combat here. So here we go. Massive round is for Toll. Firm grip is found immediately. Wow, okay. Tesia Vernius is about to rock and roll this round here. It's a massive, massive round here. Swing round incoming. Just put them all down, Helena. Just put them all down. There you go. Just put them all down. There you go. Put them all down. Oh, dear. So, Hunter's got Jessica and has got Mother Mahayim. Hagar Basin, and you're just threatening everything here. And the players now know it's coming. And this is terrible for Helena, of course, knowing that, yeah, Mother's obviously coming. And they're not going to get access to it. They've already got the Mentats. They'd have to draw some cards to kind of get around this. Yeah, this is the problem now. Helena's got problems now. And they've got Spice Trader, which needs discards as well. So, Helena's got all these actions, and is not going to use them here. It's hard to see the players are going to block Wealth, Secrets, Selective Breeding, and Secrets. It seems almost impossible that's going to happen here. Dreizo's trying to have a bit of speech with the table, but Hunter is not the danger here. Helena's trying to please the wrong person. In theory, they could block the free up. And Hondro desperately needs Selective Breeding, by the way. The rest of his hand is terrible. But instead of shipping, sitting right there for Helena. Helena's in a terrible spot. Problem is, if she goes instead of shipping, then Hondro will get off something here. But they're not. Dreizo's not turned down instead of shipping here. Because they figure if they go for a faction space, Baron just goes shipping instead. So, yeah. So they're going to get hit here by Mother Mahayim. And they know that. Baron doesn't mind, by the way. With Esmar in hand, he can just unload that. So Baron doesn't mind at all here. So Baron will unload Esmar and Convincing, I would imagine. Oh, he's going to get Holo Projectors out now. Okay. I don't hate that. Thing is, Tesia Vernius has got Firm Grip. And you really need to get that to Wealth. You do not want to pass that up. Like, you could block Selective Breeding. But then if you don't access the Firm Grip, you feel kind of stupid. Tesia also can't block Selective Breeding anyways. So you've got to go Firm Grip now. You cannot let that sit in your hand as Tesia Vernius. It's too strong. It's way too good. You do have Infiltrate, which you want to use for shipping, though. So it's got to be Firm Grip first here. So Hondro is going to hit Selective Breeding here. Dream here. So it gets a couple of coins. Where do they bump here? Fremen? Or do you bump the Jesuit first and then bump the Fremen afterwards to try and take that alliance? I think Bene Gesserit's first. Yeah, get the Intrigue. Looks good to me. So yeah, second bump to get the token here. Oh, wow. That's also pretty good, by the way. Finds a Benny bump. So Hondro will hit it. So everyone's got to discard 2 cards here. Baron already got rid of his Esmar to it, by the way. Tesia Vernius has got to put 2 away. Diplomacy found for Hondro. Voice found. Oh, that's not ideal for Hondro. That is a little unfortuitous there. Quid pro quo, he's found as his Intrigue for getting to the 4th spot as well, which is not bad. That could do some damage. Hundred needs to pick up some influence with the other factions here. So that could be a way to supplant that. The Hunter's going absolutely all in on this Bene Gesserit bomb, but maybe it's working here. Tezia's got to put 2 cards away here. Helena's trying to work out her round here. Like, I think you get rid of Dune, and I... Oh, but you get... Well, you think you probably infiltrate the shipping, but then the problem is, when are you going to cash that in is the problem. So Yellow's still thinking. Diplomacy you keep. And I guess you keep Recon. Like, what's the dagger doing for you here? Not much. Unless you want specifically High Council. But it sucks to get rid of to get rid of Recon, because someone could go High Council before you. Like, Helena has reason to do it. Baron, in theory, has reason to do it, although they don't know they've got Chome shares. It's a tough call here for Tezia. Very tough decision to make here. Getting rid of Recon to go High Council is the riskier play. So they get rid of the dagger. Which I don't hate. I don't think that can be a bad move. It's if you go dagger and High Council gets taken before you, that really sucks. So yeah, I don't hate that at all. Alright, so Helena's up. So Arakeen next. Fine convincing argument just because they knew it was their next card here. But they can put aside Water Peddler, the next card out. Baron's going to use Diplomacy to... Secrets? Or Fold Space? Yeah, it's going Fold Space, just protecting this alliance. The Baron's going to win this game, isn't he? It feels kind of ominous. He needs to close this out, though. That's the only thing. Baron has still not picked up 2 faction victory points. He's got Chome shares in hand, so that's 8. Adamana, if you can turn that into a victory point somewhere, would be 9. Tezzie's obviously going to go in pretty heavy here. And has 3 intrigue, so I don't think he'll be Adamana here. Sleep Must Awaken is found! That's a huge card for Tezia. Counter Dispensation's half of that. There's the Benny bump. Wow. That's a pretty nice pairing up here. So Hunter's up. It's just Diplomacy, but where do you want to send it to? I don't hate still suits. I do not hate still suits. But they might go secrets. Kind of don't want to use Poison Super to keep drawing here. Although, if you found specifically Jessica of Arrakis... They could then go to Imperial Basin or Smuggling and draw 2 more cards. And they might be able to pick up a Spice Must Flow. That's the thing, Hunter's got 7 persuasion here, so it's like, what do you, It's kind of this weird half and half spot. Like, I think it's worth Hunter trying to find this point. You'd be snooping specifically for Jessica Arrakis, which is a 1 in 3. Wow, he's only got 10 cards in his deck? Wow, that's nuts. So you've got your Signet Ring, you've got Jessica of Arrakis, and you've got... your Recon, I think it is, as the 3 cards. Jessica Arrakis would be... Oh, but they're all 1 persuasion cards. But it would be enough. If he gets Jessica Arrakis, he can play it, draw his other 2 cards, he has 9 persuasion, and he buys Spice Must Flow. If you find your Signet Ring... Tech Negotiation's gone, which is a problem. Arakeen is gone, which is a problem. But one out of 3 times, you just find Jessica Arrakis and you play it and you draw your other 2 cards, you get a Spice Must Flow and you just get a point. I think it's worth rolling dice here. If you find your Recon, I would actually consider trashing it. I think it's worth considering his Snooper. But yeah, he can get to 8, but he can't get to 9. Because tech negotiation got taken by the Baron earlier. Otherwise, if that was the case, if tech negotiation was open, I would do this all day. This poison snooper, because you always got dagger up there to get there. I think I would go for it. I really think I would go for Jessica Rackers here, and 1 out of 3 I get Spiceless Flow. Smuggling's okay. They're gonna go voice here. Question is, what are they voicing up though? It's the problem. I don't think there's a ton to voice up that really helps you. Also sucks to not use your diplomacy. Yeah, that's why I don't like this. I just don't think this is a good move to me. There's too many things that you're trying to block here. Like, Hardy Warriors, I mean, it's like, what does it really matter? That's just a Tessia Vernius block. Now, as it turns out, Tessia Vernius can go Hardy Warriors. But it's only blocking Tessia. So yeah, that's me. I would Poison Snoop, and if I find Jessica, it's a point. If you find you a ring, you can just smuggle and go up. You can take an extra bump. And if you find your recon, then, you know, what do? You can trash it, I guess. Now, that's a Helena block, although they can just go tech negotiation anyways. And it's going to draw into her next set of hands here. Finds the liaison. I don't know if she wanted to find that right now. I think you might see a double cross coming from Helena here for to yellow when it comes back round, by the way. Baron's got to go Siege. Only legal place he can go. And then Tessia Vernius. Hardy Warriors is sitting there, and Hardy Warriors feels pretty tempting. You have Infiltration, but there's no really worth infiltrating to. I guess you could infiltrate Steel Suit itself, but I think she'll go Hardy Warriors. So it gets 2 bumps here, does Tessia. Tessia needs to put in an extra troop in here, by the way. So, third bump take... Ooh, sorry. Third bump taken. Courtesy of the third Snooper token. Tessia needs to put in an extra troop here. This is too important a combat. You've got to put in at least 2. I think at least 1, probably 2. And make this safe. You've got no actual combat intrigues. I think this kind of tips that you don't have any combat intrigues, by the way. But as it turns out, no one else does. Apart from Baron, who's not in the complex. Yeah, they're just gonna do this here. And I don't hate this at all. I think this is totally fine. This is 2 victory points for Tol. This is a big conflict here, so I have no issues with just shoring this up. Absolutely no issues with that at all. I think this is fine. So, Hundro will reveal for the 5. What was Hundro's next card? I gotta know. It was... Oh, it was Missionaria. Oh, Jessica... Oh, sorry. All the stuff I was saying about Jessica Rackers, ignore me. It's Missionaria. Well, if it was Missionaria, I still would have gone for it. Because you find it, you just go Siege and you get a bump. But, oh. Anyways, doesn't matter. Helena went Carfag. Found Bindi Suspension. Taking the Emperor bump at with Favoured Subject as well. Baron has a reveal of 2. He has no cards. But he has Tech Negotiation and Mimic here, so he has 2 Persuasion. He could have got Water Peddler, but decides not to bother. I would have been tempted. That natural one might have been of some use. Lair takes Vadekin. And nothing's going to happen here. So Hundro's going to get the water as well. I was just wondering if Helena was tempted to double cross Blue for the water, but probably doesn't make sense. So Tessia gets 2 points. Gets to detonate the Dreadnought there, so they've got the they've got their value for detonation devices. I think if you get 1 detonation out of detonation devices, you've kind of got your value. If you get more than 1, then awesome. But I think if you get 1, you're happy with that. Alright, next up is Terrible Purpose. More victory points in the conflict here. Second place doesn't look very good anymore, so it's just kind of a go-in or bust. Helena's going for invasion ships. Baron's 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 going for Invasion ships. with the tech here. So just garrisoning up the troops. This is a race now for Helena. Bumps in front for the Fremen. Which, I mean, I think Tezzy's going to go for the Emperor Alliance here. There's Bene Gesserit cards all over the place. Baron has Guild Admin in his hand. No one can do anything about it. What do you do here is Baron? Just take Imperial Basin? He's eyeing up Duncan. He's going to get rid of Convincing. I think it's fine. He's not going for Spice Must Flows. Fire's Doom Desert Planet. It's not actually that bad. And I think he's going to use this to either Basin or Smuggling here. Yeah, makes sense. Baron has two victory points in hand. It's absolutely nuts. Tessie's up. So Voice in hand, Tessie Humanity in hand. Signet Ring's also there as well. Signet Ring can be shifted to the Emperor at some point as well to get hold of the 4th Snooper token at the Emperor and get the 2 troops in. And obviously you have Firm Grip as well, so you want to be hitting this alliance as much as you can here. Tessie Avernus also wants to get High Council for Dispensation. There's a lot of things Tessie wants to do right now. He's kind of trying to work out what order you want to take things in. Hundro's got Weirding Way and Jessica Arrakis here, so you might actually see Hundro use Weirding and Jessica Arrakis to Smuggling. I think we might see here. His hand's not great. He might also Weirding and then to Smuggling and then use Missionary to get the Persuasion bump. Hundro's got some options. I think if you do go in on Bene Gesserit, like, sometimes you're able to draw these hands, you get all sorts of options. He's also got his Signet Ring as well, which he might want to use. So there's going to be some bumps here coming for Hundro, and he needs them. Like, he's got to get these points at the Emperor and Spacing Guild. Tessie Avernus feels like this is a big round. She had a big swing round last one with Firm Grip and 2 points and all sorts of good stuff. Decisions to be made here. Tessa Strength being considered to secrets, I think. They're really going to fight blue for this alliance? Doesn't feel like a great idea. Dreizo's going to try and win this on the battlefield now. Dreizo's a little lucky that the victory point conflicts come up here in a way. Although, to be fair, we've had no map conflicts. None of the sieges. Which is kind of insane as well. Big round for Tezia here. This is a huge round. You feel like if you play this right, you set yourself up to somehow win this game. If you don't, you think it's going to slip away here. This is a big round for Tezia. 8 Persuasion in hand should be noted. If they've got any intentions of getting Spiceless Flow this round, which might also be a consideration. Is there any way they can get, like, Research Station, maybe? Tessie's got to decide what she wants to do here. I think it's more important to just get in front of Helena on this Emperor Alliance, on the Emperor Alliance here. It's kind of weird, though. Problem is, if you're going to go for the Emperor Alliance, you can't really shift away from the Fremen because Helena's going to think she's kind of safe. So you'd have to probably shift away from the Bene Gesserits just to keep Helena guessing and say, you know, kind of say, well, if you go for my alliance, then I will go for yours. You kind of bluff it both ways. It's having a good think about things here. It's a big move here for Tessia. It's a big moment. Big moment here. So Tessia is gonna go for the Signet Ring here. High Council. So they're gonna back this here. I think this is totally fine. I think they might actually consider revealing here for the point. They're gonna have to shift away from the Emperor now then. And I think if they're gonna do this, I think they should shift away from the Bene Gesserit and not Hardy Warriors. I think you've got to leave that Fremen kind of guessing, because Helena... Problem is, if you do this, Helena's going to feel more than happy just to bomb the Emperor Alliance here, thinking that their alliance is safe. Arlani is not going to go for this alliance here, so I think this is the wrong faction to drop away from Tesia. And I think she's going to be harassed here. So, yeah, I think you're going to see Helena is going to go for this Emperor Alliance with strong arm. She might have done so anyways. But of course, the thing is, Tesia might have forgot that strong arm's in play, by the way. I think Helena will strong arm the Emperor Alliance here, so Tesia's in some trouble. Poison Stim is going to be played here. 100 wants some extra options. It's a dagger. I mean, you could trash it. And does decide to get rid of it, which I don't hate. I don't hate that at all. So here we go. Winning ways can be played here. So I think they are going to look to go smuggling here. Siege smuggle? Depends what they're going to use here. Like, they need to make a decision. Do they just go for the bump? The bump feels probably more important here. So if that's the case, I would actually probably smuggle here with this instead. They go Arakeen, which makes me think that they're going to go use Jessica for smuggling instead then, by the looks of it. And it looks like they're going to go for the, Spice Must Flow here, it's Hundro. It's also prepped up his Signet Ring as well, so they're gonna bump upwards. They draw 2. Of course, ain't Jessica Rakkus in use, by the way. Don't often see that at all. Voice is found. Diplomacy is found. He's short. It's only 8. Oh, that's bad news for Hundro. Hundro is short his Spice Must Flow. He has missed it. He might feel a little unlucky here. Helena's gonna go Selective Breeding. Sigh relief for Tesia with the Emperor Alliance. Helena just pulls a load of swords, which she's not unhappy about. Baron's gonna go Secrets here. Advanced weaponry is found for the Dreadnoughts. I want to say Baron is stalled, but I really thought Baron would have more than 5 points at this point here. Kind of fascinating. It's kind of been a bit slow, maybe. A bit little meandering in these mid-game rounds here. Baron might feel he's going to have to win the next round's combat, but we'll see what happens here. Tesia's up. Tesia is leading points-wise. Again, this is a massive, massive round for Tesia Vernius. Tesia Vernius has 9 persuasion. But can you really justify giving up two actions for this? They're trying to work out what their cards are to draw here. So voice coming here. Tesia is not concerned about the Spice Must Flow. Tesia's going for the conflict? Machine culture is found. They've only got the 1 tech so far, but there is some cheap stuff up there. Highliner. Surely you block Hardy Warrior. Well, I don't know. I mean, she's doing diplomacy. Wow, it's all happening here. Okay, so Hundro goes Mentat. Dispensation will be played with Tesia to get the spice here. Wow, Highliner block is very curious. Bit of a weird move. So, Hundro taking his bump here. Cashes in the shipping. Helena was eyeing up Mentat here. That is gone. Lots of curious stuff happening in this game. Lots of curious stuff happening in this game. Tessie's still going to be concerned with strong arm, if Tessie remembers. She's still got it. What else is Helena ever going to strong arm here? It's only the Emperor Alliance here. So Huntro's decisions to make. Takes the spice. Yeah, don't need the money anymore. I think that's fine. Mav Mahaim is found. 100 now has 9 persuasion in his hand. Is the issue. Hunter's going to be in a really strange spot here. What he does next round. If wealth is still sitting there, there may be a temptation to use Mahaim. And the only person that's really going to hurt is Baron. Oh my goodness me. Baron almost needs to reveal here. He is risking now. If Mudmahayan comes, he loses the guild admin point. This is super dangerous. This is super risky. Ambush is found. So it's got to be advanced weaponry or Choam shares he uses. It will be advanced weaponry to get the Dreadnought in. But now Mudmahayan he's risking losing guild admin here. Baron taking a massive risk. And 100 going behind him is not outrageous here. To wealth. That'll be a massive problem for Baron if he loses this. I don't know if it was worth it. I think when Hunter's got that many cards, and wealth is sitting right there, and Hunter is yet to get a bump with it, I don't know if that's the right call. I'd have been tempted just to reveal and take the point. And I think Baron's going to regret this. He's going to have a real bad day. Tessia Vernius, however, is up. Tessia's got 7. She's obviously given up on the Spiceman's Flow, going to Carfag. Wants the actions. Where's she going? Where can she go? Hager Basin, Tech Negotiation. Or she infiltrates to the Bene Gesserit. Maybe to, like, Selective Breeding. Maybe you just go secrets. And you continue to harass blue here. You go before the next round. If you find your diplomacy, your firm grip, or anything like that, like, you can take that alliance away. Tessie's wondering, is there any way she can end the game right now? And the answer is no. I don't think there's any way she can end the game currently. This is going to go another round here. But you ain't got many choices, Tessia. It's Tech Negotiation or it's Hager Basin. And I think Hager Basin is fine, given you've got specifically Sleeper and Machine Culture. I mean, you gotta just get the spice, get the extra dude in. Feels good. So Helena's gonna go Carfac and just whack a load of dudes in. Problem is, you can't really stop Helena taking this conflict's the issue. Unless Tessie is thinking about Machine Culture here. But there's nothing really good to Machine Culture. You can't buy Spaceport. You could grab Disposal and trash 2 cards. Trash 1 now, and then you're going to reveal, in theory, for 6 and trash again. But you don't know that, Hunt. The thing is, oh man, I think the players are I think a couple of the players here are not thinking about Mother Mahaim. Man, if Mother Mahaim peels off, Baron is going to be sick with this. Absolutely sickened in how this is about to come off. He did not have to go Siege at all. Didn't have to do it. Oh, he just reveals for the Spiceless Flow. Oh my god, and the play Baron gets away with it. Oh my goodness me. And I think Baron realizes he's got away with this. Huge. So just takes the point. He's gonna draw here, trying to find a Spiceman's Flow. Wow, gets there. Very fortunate for Helena. Finds Spiceman's Flow on the side. That's a ridiculous draw. Baron gets the point. That's 2 Guild Ambassadors now. He still has Chome shares whenever he wants. Armada in ambusher in hand here. Does Baron go for this? Or does he hold on for the next round? No, he's got 11 swords for it. And maybe you hold on for the next round and use that to stop Helena. Tessie reveals for 6. Worm Riders is there. You could also just take, you could take Water Peddler. Here's a crazy move for Tessie Furnace. You get hold of Water Peddler, and then you Machine Culture, take Disposal Facility, and you immediately trash Water Peddler. And you just get 2 water that way. I think that's actually a pretty cool move. Or you could do it with its Guild Compact and trash it immediately for the couple of negotiators, but it doesn't feel as good. I think that's a cool move. Water Peddler, get it for a water, and then trash it with Disposal Facility. Get a second water, and then that gets you to Great Flat, and then you mine Great Flat, and that's your Spice Feast Must Awaken. Because Baron is going shipping all day. It's an unorthodox move for Tessia, but I actually think I think it's a good move. I really like it. I think it's really cool. I don't think Toll will see it. And I don't know if they'd see it if they'd still do it. But that's how I would play this. I would grab Peddler and then get hold of Disposal Facility and just trash it instantly. Like, your deck is not to be... No, by at all! They don't even go Worm Riders! Oh my god! Well, so Devil Cross is played. It doesn't matter. Like, Helena was good anyway. She doesn't know that. So Helena's going to get to 8 here. It's finding the Spices Flow for Helena. That was a massive draw. Like, pretty lucky, really. Does Baron get in the way? No, he doesn't. So Baron's going all in on this next conflict then, if he passes. Tessie has nothing to do. So Helena takes it and gets to 8 points here. So Helena's got a little lucky, I think, this round. Immediately gets rid of the Spice of Slow here. That's the entire hand here. Well, I suppose they knew what they were drawing, though, actually. They've drawn the whole deck, so I guess it wasn't... They knew... he's writing down what he's got here, so... Alright, so Baron Harkonnen is going all in for this tier 3. He's going all in for it. Svediakin found again for Helena. Helena's drawing a pretty healthy hand here. So here we go. So Baron is going to go shipping. Baron needs to pick up points with Emperor and Bene Gesserit. He's just going to take the Bene Gesserit point and get here. That's 7. Choam shares is 8. And Carthag would be 10. If Baron Harkonnen can win this conflict... the game is over. The game will be over. Baron needs to find his way to Hardy Warriors. And has to win this. It is on for Baron. Helena might think they can win this conflict, but they can't really. Baron has an issue here, though, in that if Baron uses his Signet Ring for a coin... he cannot pay for Choam shares, so he kind of can't use it. I think we might see Baron get rid of the dagger and see what he draws. It's a bit weird here. Tessie's up. Tessie has not drawn great here at all. This is a terrible hand. I think you'll go selective here. I think just for your own hand's sake and also threatening this alliance. Obviously, you want to get out of the Emperor Alliance as well, because Helena is just threatening to just strong arm at any moment here. And Helena will strong arm it if she can. I don't know if she drew faction access. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't really see. Tessier's up, though. Slender Breeding can't be bad here. But obviously you're concerned about Sleep Must Awaken. But you're going to get access to Imperial Basin or Hagar Basin. You don't need to be scared of that. They still have Infiltration as well. So they don't have to do it right away. Is there anything worth doing first? Do you go Spaceport for just card draw? Tessia feels she needs to get 3 points from this round. Spice's Flow would be 1. Sleep Must Awaken could be 2. Oh, I don't know how you get both. But where's your third point coming from anyways? Emperor Alliance, you can't get it. Tessie has problems here. It's a difficult hand. Part of Tessie's thinking here as well is she might be trying to work out, is this the last round of the game? Or is this going round 8? Does she set up for, like, the tier for the next conflict? Assuming that Dreizo and Baron are going to kill each other? The problem is if Helena gets the conflict, like, the game ends. If Baron gets it, the game could well end as well. You don't know. Tessia might reckon this is the last round of the conflict here. I do not hate thinking here. This is a tough spot for Tessia. Really difficult. I don't think Tessia wants to dip below 4. But they can. I think they can get away with it. I think Bene Gesserit's fine. I think selective breeding is fine. You could also go secrets and gamble. But I think this makes more sense. Reinforcements. They can't use it. Oh dear, well Tessia has a problem here. Tessia has a real issue. The only card she can't use, that she can use here is Machine Culture. Which she doesn't want to use because the Sleep Must Awaken. That's a terrible intrigue for Tessia. She's going to trash the Bene Gesserit system to draw 2, so she's pretty sure this is the last round. Tessie Man is found. Corner as well, so Spice Must Flow is in hand. Tessia Vernius wants to... Yeah, this is a problem for Tessia here. She has to use Machine Culture now. But the problem is how on earth does she ever get hold of Sleep Must Awaken? It's a bad intrigue for Tessia, but to be honest, this is the risk you were taking. You could have played Infiltrate with the Bene Gesserit system when you went there. And I would have considered doing that. So she just uses Machine Culture and opts not to use it. It should be noted in the rule books. This is going to come in the question here. So the symbol is a May. So they're opting not to use it. But yeah, this came up in discussion not so long ago, but I'm pretty sure it's the symbol here. I'll show it to you immediately. Let me bring this up for you here, guys, so you can see. So yeah, the acquire tech icon is the only way to acquire. Each time you trigger 1 on both sides, you may acquire 1. So even with the card, you don't have to do it. So you don't have to buy. Alright, we're all happy here, so we're going to move on. So, Hundro is going to use Missionaria up first here. So, shenanigans being planned with Mother Mahayam. Helena's going to go High Council here. She's going Spice Must Flow. Helena's going to look to try to make this all work out. Baron goes High Council. Goes to Great Flat here. Highliner incoming. Baron Harkonnen's going to win this combat. He's going to get to 10 points. Highliner, Chom shares, Allied Armada in Amber. It's just good. How on earth is Baron going to be stopped here? The answer is he's not. I'm pretty sure Ipamster is going to go 7 in 7 and is going to go through into the grand finals. 2 hits of a Guild Administrator for the Baron. How on earth does Helena get 2 points here? Spicer's Flow would be 1, but they have no faction access. Strong Arm is sitting there doing absolutely nothing. They cannot challenge the Emperor Alliance here. Tessia can't do anything about it either, but it is what it is. Tessia feels like she's got to get hold of another spice here. The move for Tessia is tech negotiation, and then you'd use Dune on Haggard base and Pure base. You'd figure one of those is probably going to be safe here, right? If you go Dune first, it feels pretty uncomfortable because you're hoping tech negotiation doesn't get blocked. You've kind of got to gamble for it. The problem is, either way, you're only getting 2 points, though. And now Baron is going Highliners. I think this is over. I think this is over. Tessie Humanity is going to come out here to try and do anything they can. They're going to go Secret Seed to take the point from Hunjo instead. Bypass Protocol is found. Helena can't get rid of that. She has to... So Spicer's is being given up here. And Baron gives up the troop. That is savage, isn't it? That is absolutely savage. He gives up the troop because he knows he's good. Bypass Protocol is going to be taken for the water. But it's too little too late. It's too little too late here. Hundro Moritani can use Mother Mahayim, but Baron wisely getting rid of the troop here. So even if Mother Mahayim comes off, he still has diplomacy. And Baron Harkonnen's going to be good here. It looks like Dreizo's dream run of doing the double. It could be over here. I don't know how Helena's gonna get is gonna find 2 points here. Bear in mind, they might be considering obviously Baron is gonna be down to 3 spice. Baron will not win a spice tiebreak if Helena gets 10. Or if Tessia can get to 10. But I don't think either of them can. They can both get to 9 and they just kind of stall out. For Arlani, I think his competition is over. He's had a great run as Arlani. He's had a really good run. He's had a really good run here. But Dreizo, I think, realizes it's over. Very possibly. If Baron has any way, if he's got Sleep Must Awaken or Chom shares, it's just game over. I wonder if Dreizo will regret not taking Guild Admin at the start of the game instead of Power Play. I think that was a really, really big decision at the very start of the game. And I think that was the wrong call. And then getting Power Play and not policing Baron. Helena's just going to throw dudes in and hope it all works out. But it doesn't matter. It is over. Ipamster is going to book his place in the grand final. 7 out of 7 is an insane feat. An absolutely insane feat. Amazing. I really wanted Dreizo to prove me wrong in this game as well. I really did. I really, really wanted him to prove me wrong here. Dreizo's been hurt pretty bad by the discarding, but I don't think... I mean, and that it has hurt. But there is nothing to do here. But yeah, Arlani's had a great run. I think to have made the semi-finals, I think he'll be super happy. I'm really happy for him as well. Like, you know, I think he's played really well this tournament. Like, his knockout rounds were both the round of 14 and quarterfinals were both pretty incredible games to watch. Was this a step too much? Maybe so. But making semi-finals is a fantastic achievement, and it'd be great to have him back in the in future competitions. It'd be absolutely awesome. I mean, for him and for the support that he's been getting from his group. And if you guys are watching, you know, I do appreciate it. And thanks to loads of you guys for joining the competition as well. It's been really appreciated. Be awesome to see more of you guys in our future competitions. They are coming soon. And Hunter realizes. By the way, he can get hold of a point with Quid Pro Quo. That will give him his point with the Emperor here. But he can't retake his alliance. Not that it matters. Not that it matters. So the question is, who's going to get second spot here? At the moment, well, Tezzy's going to get a 9th point. Helena is only going to score 8 here. So as it stands, Tezzy Vernis will take second place. Will take second place and will get hold of the route to the runner-up finals. Both games were meant to have been played, well, at time of recording, but it hasn't happened. So they're being ballparked for the 1st and 2nd of April. It will be live streamed here on Internet Assets. Andre's just going to take the bump up. He might as well. Helena's going to Carfag and hope for a miracle. Plans within plans is found. But it is worth zilch. And there it is. It's all over. Baron Harkonnen does what Baron Harkonnen does best. And finds the intrigues to win the match. Steve must awaken. Terrible news for Helena. It's all over for Dreizo. The double will not happen. But to get semi-final here after this as well, very impressive. Told to make second place, I think will be over the moon. Dreizo lamenting their luck. But yeah, Helena, Helena's strength is being kind of like hard to interact with. Well, Tessie Humanity and Mervyn Moheim don't give a Hondro will just go fold space. And then use Quid Pro Quo. And get hold of a couple of points. It doesn't matter here. But it's fine. Lane just buys a liaison. But she knows it's over. She knows there's nothing that can be done to stop Baron. Is there any endgame intrigues that can make a difference here? I don't think Helena can find any game intrigues to help her here. Nor can Tezia. But it doesn't matter. So, Ipamster to the next round. Tezia to second place. Dreizo full shot. The dream of the double is over.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? What a troll.
What a troll.
I could have used this every one intrigue. So
What
Oh fuck!
a
How
troll.
crazy!
Well, that was a great game to watch.
if I drew this, I would have gotten second place. That would have been...
Alas. Well, it was a great game to watch. Great
it
drama.
was-
Great drama. If you gotta go, if you do have to go, I don't know if you're like literally about to go here. I do want to say like thanks for sitting in the tournament, like making semis. I mean, it's a fantastic achievement. You had an incredible freaking knockout round. But yeah, heck of a game here. So there's plenty to talk about, and we'll get through this. Obviously, first of all, Eric, 7 out of 7, easy game, right?
Nice.
Yeah, this with Esmar is just
Yeah.
pretty strong. Get nuts.
So this comes on to the thing we talk about here, and this is something that obviously it was a very big immediate decision. Was Guild Ambassador or Power Play? And Helena opted for Power Play. That was it was a big call. It's a tough call.
Well, the lack of faction access, seriously, like
That was-
hindered
yeah.
the ability to play this
Yeah.
game. Like, if he did not make me immediately discard, I was just gonna instant reveal and have 9 at least. But
Yeah. Well, good thing
It's
for him he
all
played, I
not.
suppose.
Yeah, I got him second
Yeah.
place.
I will
instead of-
say, I think that's one of the problems with Helena. Like, obviously, providing the fact, obviously, you kind of playing uninteractively, but if people are pinging off Mohayim and people are pinging off Test Humanity, like, that's pretty painful. I do think that is a spot where Helena can be in some trouble.
It's the faction access
Yeah.
mainly. Like I did not get to use like every time I had my signet, there was never a faction card up here. So
Yeah,
except for round 1 where I had the power play.
that makes sense. Yeah, no, Doris Tom, thanks so much for participating, man. It's been great to have you in the competition, and hope to have you back, man. So yeah, but it was a huge spot, and then obviously the issue as well it was a very nip and tuck game all the way. Like Eric was looking pretty good, and then kind of like rounds sort of 4, 5, 6, it kind of sort of petering out a little bit, and kind of felt like it got a bit kind of sticky. I don't know if you'd agree, but I was thinking like going into like the tier 3s, I fully expect you to have like an extra point or two than you did. You made it up in the end, obviously, with going for the tier 3.
Yeah, it was kind of a stall in the middle
Which
round.
was a bit worrying.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. But once you found Allied, obviously earlier on, and then pick up the ambush, you're like, well, you just figure you just get some troops into the tier 3, and you just figure you're going to be good here more often than not. Just get to 7 points so you can get Trome shares. You got your 2 Gil Ambassador hits, like you can't complain.
I think it's just lack of faction access. Like he had a win condition in his deck nice and early.
Yeah.
Tessia.
Yeah, I mean, I do
Got one
agree,
which he-
but I mean, I don't know, it's difficult. Like, I mean, of course, because the problem is, of course, you can take it first round, and like it's dangerous giving that to Baron, even if you just get it just to kind of get it out of his way here, because obviously he's gonna be dangerous with it, but it's difficult, you know. A lot of it's hindsight. But I was worried at the time. I was thinking, Guild Ambassador, it's like, you give that to Baron. And then Baron then later obviously then found the bump there. But once you obviously power played the Fremen, like he was going to have no competition on the Alliance, the problem. There's only one person that could possibly try to stop him. But it was going to be you. But again, it was kind of difficult to do so.
I was considering
Yeah.
power playing Voltron.
You were the only person that could
after
stop him
he-
from getting loads of value out of Guild Ambassador. You're the only one.
The problem was after he played that intrigue to get him an extra
Yeah, he
bump,
did found
Yeah,
it was
but-
very fortunate. Guild,
Yeah.
He did find Guild Authorization, which was very fortunate, and that was very, very big. There's no question about that.
like this happened, and then it was a lost cause, and at the same time, the conflict 2 being a bump
It
as
was
well.
also
is very
was a Brucey
painful.
bonus, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. But no, it was a fascinating game. I'd say Eric to get through. It does suck, obviously, you're not going to manage to. I mean, if you'd have managed to do the double on both competitions, it would have been absolutely ridiculous. But I think a win in a semi-final, like I wouldn't complain. It's better than me. So, but obviously it's a shame. But yeah, Eric will go through to the final. One step away from just 100% in this tournament, which is completely ridiculous. And Toll finds his way to the run-up playoffs. I think, I mean, I'd take that, Toll. You've made a habit of just kind of squeaking through these rounds.
Yeah, that's true, but yeah, it was a hard
It was
game.
a tough match. Very tough
If-
match.
If he decided to protect his alliance instead of making us discard, then Toll wouldn't have ended up getting second
Yeah.
here. Like,
Well, I mean, you can't control that.
Yeah,
There's nothing you can do about that.
it was kind of lucky, but it was like a forced play to go to selected pre-hidden
you had-
because
your
I
hand
had
was terrible.
just 2 daggers. My last
Yeah,
hand
your
was
hand was
so
miserable.
crap.
You had kind of no real choice. You had to select it and kind of see what you picked up, and you know.
Yeah. And then I was kind of lucky that I didn't get block on secret,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
never found the bump here.
No, that was obviously really
like
scary
this.
because you know Strong Arm's sitting there, but Helena didn't find access either, so she couldn't find the point there either. So it was
Yeah,
a little unfortuitous, but
and
Yeah, I
yeah,
tried to
no
keep it
high
back.
council, but never a
yeah.
spice.
But obviously the problem, with
I
Dreizo is
tried
he's
to
only got
keep
one
it
faction
back.
access card out of his deck. It's not a huge deck, but alas.
like if I did find my diplomacy this turn,
Yeah,
it
it's
would have
it's well
been-
full day. Yeah, of course it's well full day.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. But didn't turn up. Didn't get there at all. So yeah, congrats to Eric and Toll, and we will see you all in the various finals.
Yeah, see you. Thanks.
Thanks for coming.
No worries.
Bye.
So that's going to do it for us here. A fascinating game to watch. If Dreizo feels a little hard done by at the end to have not found the faction that is the Emperor to strong arm, and feel that if Hundred had taken different actions, they could have scored the 9 points and won on Spice tiebreaker. I can understand that. It's also probably fair to say that the tons of card dismissing from Mahayam as well as Tessie Humanity probably hurt Dreizo more than anyone else on the table. There was also obviously the chance early where Hundred could have used Mahayam and it would have cost Baron his Guild Ambassador point. But he didn't do it. And Baron got kind of lucky there. Like, I totally get Hundred not doing it, but he could still have gone to Wealth and made progress on that and forced Baron to discard Guild Ambassador, and we'd be going another round. And who knows at that point. But it was a fascinating game. And, you know, I'm very curious to know what you guys make of this one. Should Helena have gone Guild Ambassador instead of Power Play at the start? Like, I know obviously not a ton of faction space, and I totally get that. But even at the very time, I'm like, it's so dangerous giving that to Baron in third position. Just give him Guild Ambassador, because if he does make a run on that, like, who is ever going to stop him? And that powered him through to get those couple of points and get there. He didn't even get hold of his Emperor point. Never even went there. Never bothered. And managed to win the game. So congrats to Eric. He makes his way to the next round. Tezia to the runner-up playoffs in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you all very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Very curious to know what you made of this game. Would you have played it differently? Maybe so. It's easy to think of hindsight, but I don't know. I think there's potential to watch this back and maybe score on a couple of decisions taken, but it is what it is. Have a good one, everyone. We will see you all in the next conflict.